Let's move on to another black and white image. I will go to File, Open, and from my Exercise Files folder, I will select the file named Grandmother. This is a really dull image where almost everything in it is some level of gray, and we really don't see any true black or true white. We also see that the way the image was scanned, it has introduced a black border, and we definitely want to get rid of that. So with our crop tool from the toolbox, let's mark an area of the image we want to keep. Let's adjust that a bit and hit return on the keyboard to commit. I wanted to point out here that if you had an image that was scanned at an angle, you can easily fix this by marking your crop area with the crop tool, hovering over with your mouse outside the marked area, which will allow you to click and rotate your crop selection. When you hit return to commit your crop, the image will be rotated and cropped at the same time. Now let's address the grayness of the image. As you already know, to adjust black, white, and gray levels in an image, we need to open up the Levels window. So let's do that. Image on the main menu, Adjustments and Levels in Photoshop, or Colors on the main menu and Levels in GIMP. We can see that the histogram reflects our earlier observation. There is really no black nor white. All of our pixels are gray. To introduce some black, let's grab the left handle and bring it into the beginning of the histogram distribution. To bring white into the image, we will grab the right handle and drag it all the way to the edge of this distribution. This looks much better, so I will click OK. Now that we adjusted the levels a bit, you may notice that our image is not pure black and white. It has a yellow hue here on the bottom and some bluish tint covering the rest of it. Since this is really a black and white image, and the coloration we see is an artifact of old age and the scanning process, why not change the color mode to grayscale? This will make our image truly black and white, and it will also make our file smaller. To change the color mode, we will go to Image, Mode, and select Grayscale. After the color mode conversion, I can see more clearly that there is still no true black and true white in the image. We're still looking at a lot of gray. Let's open the Levels window again and adjust our black and white handles by bringing them closer to the histogram edges. I think this is better, so I will click OK. We can check our progress and see how the state of this image compares to when we first opened it. I will open the History window and I will click on the original state of the photo and then click on the last state of my work. There has been huge improvement so far. But I think there's a bit more we can do. There is a pair of tools in Photoshop and GIMP called Dodge and Burn, which are used to lighten or darken areas of an image. In both programs, the symbols for these two tools are the same. Both of these tools work like brushes and they only take one step to operate. Let me grab the Burn tool. I can adjust my brush size and start painting over the image. If I'm not careful with the settings of this tool, I can end up creating very ugly brush strokes over the image. If that happens, go back to History and undo the Burn tool effect. To use the Burn and Dodge tools more productively, you should lower the exposure setting to about 10% or even lower if you wish. I'll start using the Burn tool over the image to darken areas that I feel should be darker. I can adjust my brush size and keep working. And I can change the setting of this tool to affect the midtones, the shadows, or the highlights of the image. By using the Burn or Dodge tool, you can effectively bring out the details in light or dark areas of an image. Now that we have made a lot of progress, we can more clearly see all the blemishes in the image that could use some work. This is where the Healing tool and/or the Clone tool can come in handy.